What's good, Chaotic Nation? It is your boy Chaos here, back with the PDL Season 6. It is time to finally start this season, and man, I have been waiting for this for a long time. I'm really glad to be here, representing the Detroit Red Wings again, ready to get ourselves back into the fray, try to make up for the shortcomings of last season, and improve on the successes as well. This is our team builder. If you guys are unfamiliar with how this process works for my channel, Sundays at 1 p.m. are going to be the team builders for the season. So I'm going to talk about what team I'm bringing and break down why I'm bringing it. And then Mondays at 1 p.m. are going to be the matches. So this is technically the week that you're watching, the current week. You're watching week 1, but we've already completed like the entire week. So we're already started week 2 by the time you're watching this. Because the league runs from Sunday to Saturday, so I give myself the entire week. So if I have a battle on Saturday, I have it ready to go. Still on Sunday, so that's why it's what it is currently, and how it is. But the team builder, this is our match versus the Derby Donphans and Coach Tui. We fought many times in the past, and let's just break down this team. And we're gonna start off with Darmanitan. Something that I really wasn't expecting to bring. I'm running a Life Orb this week with Sheer Force as my ability. You can see my stats there on the screen. But essentially we're running max attack, max speed with the Jolly Nature, so we boost that speed over special attack because I don't need my special attack stat. And then we are going to invest a little bit in defense. Every one of my monsters this week is invested just a little bit in defense. So no particular reason, I just ran into something and got defense IVs. I think it was Roly Coly I ran into. The point of Darm specifically this week is to go against Tui's Corviknight. It is a big threat for my team. I very much expect it to be something that Tui brings. So Corviknight is something that this encounters very well. I would say Drake Assault, but Tui did some trades here and there, so I'm not quite sure. It'd probably be helpful if I actually had his team pulled up, you know, instead of just taking shots in the dark and guessing, you know. That would be a smart idea, but of course I don't think about that kind of stuff. So let me pull up his screen over here to make sure I have everything correct and get it going. So I don't want to have it full screen. I want to window it, and then specifically I would like to look at the other half of the screen that you're not allowing me to look at the moment. I hate how it does this, man. So this is it just condenses everything instead of you know, making it better. Yeah, it's a website built to condense, so that's fun, which makes this really annoying to have to do. So we're gonna try it a different way. Sorry for all of these cuts and everything. The cuts there, I'm not cutting around. I'm just messing around, trying to figure out stuff. So that's fine. I guess I can just cover my face cam a little bit. Honestly, there's no good place to put the stats. I needed like a 9th monitor or something like that. All right, come on. All right, so it's here to beat that Corviknight. Primarily, that's why Darmanitan's on the team for this week. So that's the point going forward. I'm just gonna flip between them. I think it's gonna be easier for me to do that. I think because I can just minimize max. Yeah, cool. So it's here to beat Corviknight. That's the main goal. Corviknight, obviously, very good defensive stats, but also a steel flying type, and I do think it's gonna come because it has a pretty good matchup this week. What else Darmanitan's gonna be doing? It beats the Dragazult if he had it anymore. I did think he traded that out as well. So Tui made some preseason trades, which kind of was annoying because I already had my team build by the time it was there, but it didn't really affect it. So Tui did trade on his team Blastoise for Inteleon, Heracross for Pangoro, and then Dragazult for Lapras. So Lapras would be the other counter. It's going to do decently against Lapras. I haven't invested really time into looking at Lapras. I don't think it's going to be coming this week, so that's just part of what I'm here for. Darmanitan also beats Hatterene. It beats Venusaur because he has both of those on his team. It can beat Copperajah. It's a good counter to Copperajah, pretty much my primary. It can be Bolton. It's a really weird matchup, including, I think, having to be at full HP and then having to take just a lot of damage to get that to work. It has an okay matchup against double as well. It's decent against Charizard, and it can take on Pangoro as well. Not really going to be wanting to see Inteleon on Lapras. It can deal with Lapras, although Lapras at 80 across the board is going to be kind of annoying to deal with. The moveset here is Flare Blitz, U-turn, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Get a little bit of coverage there. Of course, Flare Blitz for stab, U-turn for switching in and out. Rock Slide is primarily there to deal with Charizard, although there could be Earthquake or Rock Slides coming back at me. Earth Powers, Scorching Sands. So that matchup's one I have to really look at before I jump in and just go for it. So that's just something. Up next on the team, we got ourselves Jinx. So a lot of people questions why I brought Jinx. I'm running Ice Beam, Psychic, Focus Blast, and Trick. Ice Beam and Psychic, obviously good stab moves there for the team. Focus Blast for coverage on the Steel types primarily, and then Trick in case I need to Trick. Of course, the item for this week is Choice Scarf. So he does have some slower mons on his team that I wanted to kind of invest in dealing with. So like something like Double, I can use a Choice Scarf to put it into one move. Maybe I lock it into Cotton Guard or something like that. Could also like Scarf Copperajah. So Trick is there really because I needed a last move, and Trick kind of worked in case I wanted to be cheeky. Obviously Ice and Psychic type, and the spread for Jinx this week is going to be max special attack, max speed, as you can see above me. I'm going to do that thing again. I really like that from last season. I'm modest, so I'm special attack over attack. And got a little bit of defense investment as well. Jinx's role for this week is primarily to shut down Dragapult. I really expect that to come as well. It's one of Tubi's best mons on his team, and it's really fast. So we outspeed that with a Choice Scarf. It's 142 speed, so I was having to Scarf to get around that anyway. So that is a primary counter for Jinx this week. It can be Corviknight also with Trick. That's another option, another trick you use. Don't have to worry about Dragazult. It can beat Venusaur. It beats Toxicity. It beats Bolton at 75% or less. It can take on Double. It's a really tricky matchup. Inteleon it beats as long as it's at 66% because I would outspeed and be able to one-shot it back. And also can beat Pangoro. Has a good matchup against Lapras as well. I don't have Dry Skin, which would have made it a lot better. But Ice Beam or Water Gun, not Water Gun, Ice Beam or Scald or Hydro Pump or anything is not going to really do much to Jinx. Lapras gets a little bit of coverage, but not enough really to match up against Jinx typing well. So it's not a terrible matchup against Lapras. I don't expect that to come, so I'm not going to worry about that at all. Of course, I did talk about Choice Scarf. I wanted a little bit of speed investment. Jinx is already strong enough as it is. That's why I invested into special attack over speed, because I'm running Scarf this week, so I don't really need the speed investment beyond what I'm already invested into it at max. So I didn't need the ability as well. Up next on the team, we have Aerodactyl. So Aerodactyl's coming this week. One of my last round picks, and I'm putting a Focus Sash on it primarily because Aerodactyl is a little bit fragile. At 65 defense and 75 special defense, just because I wanted it to live a hit. Also, you can see with the moveset here, I have Tailwind. That's part of my strategy. I am also facading a setup of Stealth Rocks here because Aerodactyl can do that. So part of that sash would also be, if I wanted to do that, but I don't obviously have that on the set. I need to heal Earthquake before I go into battle though. But I am rocking Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Dual Wing Beat. Stabs and then Earthquake is a nice coverage move just for some of the other things, speaking of those steel types that are out there, as well as, I was going to say his fire type, but I guess his fire type's a flying type, so rocks would do a lot more damage there. The matchup here, I guess also against Bolton, so that's another matchup we can win there. Part of the strategy again for Aerodactyl was going to be setting up Tailwind, so that can make my team faster in situations that I might need it. 2B obviously can use Trick Room. That's an option, so Tailwind might not be the best strategy, but I can always counter against that and predict him what I see the lead matchup being. So Aerodactyl can sort of deal with Corviknight. It beats Dragapult, anti-DM. It's an anti-Draco Meteor counter. So if he wants to just use a Draco Meteor into something, Aerodactyl can eat that up and just beat it back. 101. It beats Venusaur, which is primarily a good reason why I'm bringing it. It beats Toxicity because it's faster and it's got Earthquake, which is quite effective unless he's holding Shuca Berry or Air Balloon. It beats Kaparaja as long as it's under 60%. And I have the Sash available because it's going to have things like Heat Crash and Heavy Slam to do damage. So Heavy Slam primarily is going to do a lot to my Aerodactyl. It's a perfect counter to Bolton and Charizard. That's another reason I do expect Charizard to come this week, simply for the fact that Tui wants to be cheeky and use my favorite mon against me. Like, that's not going to work well because I know my mon inside and out. I can get around that. So it's my speed calc for Charizard. Rock Slide, if I land it, it's dead. Charizard probably can't one-shot me back, and even if it would, I have a Focus Sash, so we're fine. And it can also fight Pangoro a little bit, not really wanting to do that, but it can if needed. And it beats Inteleon at 50%, so it could be a nice revenge killer. Part of that's what Aerodactyl's bringing. Tailwind, also nice for obviously making the rest of my team faster, so I didn't really worry about speed too much on some other things. Besides, obviously, Jinx, I want Jinx to be good by itself, so that's part of the reason I didn't really worry too much about it. Up next, we have Solomon, our shiny Nidoking. Nidoking, this is one from Let's Go, actually. I trained it up. You can see that little Let's Go bubble there. It is also holding Life Orb this week and has Sheer Force as its ability because I want to take advantage of that power that Nidoking can bring. So I do need to talk about this. This is the only week that Nidoking will be brought unless I trade back for it, because I did trade Nidoking away starting in week 2 for Pelipper. Nidoking did a lot of things I wanted it to do, but I have a lot of ground coverage, as you've seen on the team already. I got another Pokemon I got 4 of my mons this week are running Earthquake, and 3 of them are not ground types. So I decided not really needing it, and having 2 really good steel types, I didn't think I needed a counter to Fairy as much. So I dropped this for Pelipper, which I'll talk about either next week, the week after, or somewhere down the line when I finally use Pelipper on the team. I'm not going to let you know. Obviously, my opponents probably are going to be watching this, so I don't want to give any spoilers away with what I'm doing with that. But expect it to rain and pour and put a damper on anybody's day. But we'll talk about Nidoking for this week. I got Earthquake, Thunder Punch, and Stealth Rock and Poison Jab. So there's the actual Stealth Rocks. I talked about the facade of Aerodactyl being Focus Sash and running Stealth Rocks. He won't know my moveset probably by the time we get to the second or third battle fully on Aerodactyl, because I'll probably be using 1 or 2 moves instead. So he could suspect Stealth Rocks on that as well. But Stealth Rocks is really there. Gives me another way to beat Charizard in case I decide I don't want to bring Aerodactyl a match. And I do have Earthquake for stab, obviously. Thunder Punch for coverage. And Poison Jab for another stab and coverage there. With this moveset, Nidoking can beat Corviknight on a good day. That's why Thunder Punch is there. Corviknight on a good day. It can beat the Dragozolt, doesn't matter. It can beat Hatterene. It beats Venusaur if it's under 75%, around 75%. It beats Toxicity. It beats Kaparaja, and it has an okay matchup against Bolton. It's a little bit dicey because it does have some coverage moves that can cause some problems, specifically Ice Fang. So as long as he doesn't bring the Ice-type moves, we'll be okay with Nidoking. But honestly, we'll see if I even use it this week. I'm kind of leaning against it, just because, unless, it's Corviknight and Charizard, then I probably will use it first battle just to get Stealth Rocks up on the field. But it also is nice on those Ice types to get some chip too. So that's primarily what Solomon's there for. The spread, forgot to mention real quick, you can see it above me though. It's max attack, 252, almost max speed. I said I didn't care about speed, so 248. I messed up the defenses, so I left it at 8 defense. So that's the stats. And enjoy Solomon for this week and this week only. As you probably already saw, we're bringing Top Banana, our shiny Rillaboom that I got. It's holding Expert Belt this week and is running 252 in both attack and speed IVs. Adamant Nature, boosting that attack stat over special attack. Didn't care about speed. Again, I got Tailwind, and also on Rillaboom I have Grassy Glide. So I'm going to be setting that up because I have the ability Grassy Surge. So that's going to give me some of my speed as well. Knockoff for cheeky coverage on specifically Hatterene, and also to knock off items, something like Corviknight wants to try to use leftovers, Lapras wants to try to use leftovers. We got access to that. Earthquake for coverage on those steel types and electric types, and then Drain Punch for those steel types, dark types, and rock types. I don't think he has any rock types, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's Rillaboom's set. The other thing to remember with Corviknight, specifically Corviknight, is that Roost is a very very common move on the Pokemon. So seeing Tui use Roost could be a thing, and I can either hit Drain Punch or I can hit Earthquake to do a lot of damage to Corviknight, kind of stalling out that Roost a little bit. So that is an option on this team. So I gotta remember that specifically with like things like Nidoking, and as we talked about Aerodactyl both having Earthquake, that can be a way to deal with that as well if he loses that flying typing. But more importantly, Rillaboom is here because it beats Dragapult. It's my extra backup for Jinx if I need to do that. It can beat Hatterene on a good day. Terrain's kind of spicy and everything. It beats Toxicity. It beats Copperajah on a good day. Again, it's kind of a toss-up there. It can be Bolton because it outspeeds with Grassy Glide as long as it's in terrain. It beats Pangoro, and it's my primary counter to Inteleon. He wants to try to set up Inteleon. It is going to be kind of fast as it is. We've seen a lot of Sniper Focus Energy Inteleons. My goal is, if that happens, I can switch out the Rillaboom and just one-shot him. So, no worries there with that. And if that fails, I have Aerodactyl and I can Focus Sash and I can Tailwind. Then I'm faster. So, yeah. We got all the strats going here. I'm prepared for the Speed Wars. I think I went over everything with Rillaboom, but it's also just a good option. I kind of want to use it to beat Cheeky, but he's here for that. And the last but not least is our Lucario, who I traded for in the free agency. This is a reason I traded for Lucario, because I didn't have a counter to Double. The thing about Double is it's incredibly physically tanky. It also has Cotton Guard, which sets its defense up to +3. My primary counter to this is Lucario, and as you can see here by the spread above me and the spread on the screen there, we are rocking Special Attack Lucario this week. We're running modest 252 investment in Special Attack, 252 investment in Speed, lowered Special Attack, and a little bit of investment in Defense there. We got moveset, we got Overspear, Psychic, Flash Cannon, and Shadow Ball, fully offensive, and I'm rocking an Assault Vest, so I'm a little bit tanky to deal with some things in the back. I didn't really have a good option for this final slot. I was thinking about adding my Scrafty, realized I didn't get Sucker Punch, and I immediately traded for Lucario because I had the points to do it. So, I threw Lucario into the team. It's doing its job here, and it's part of the reason why it's on the team. 100%, my counter to Double, as I said, that's what it's here for. That's what I'm using Lucario. It beats Dragapult if it's under 50%, under 70% with the Shadow Ball, which is nice for coverage. Beats Hatterene with a Flash Cannon. Beats Venusaur. It beats Toxicity. Everything on my team beats Toxicity, so you better not bring it. That's what I'm just putting out in the universe. Can beat Copperajah, can beat Inteleon. Both of those are damage rolls, and it also beats Pangoro. A nice hard counter there with Aura Sphere. So that is the team. I didn't timestamp any of that, which is really annoying because I now have to go back and find those. But my predictions for Tui's team, as I mentioned a few of these already. You can see them on the top of the screen there. I think Inteleon because it can set up. He also traded for it really fast and early on, so it might have been at the beginning of his build for my team, and he wanted to grab Inteleon because that was a thing to beat his team, to beat my team. It has a lot of good coverage moves. It also can set up that Focus Energy and cause problems for my team. So I do think it's going to be a bring. I think it's his water type of choice. If not, maybe Lapras. I want to add that to my subs list, but I didn't expect Lapras mostly because I built this team before he drafted Lapras. So I got to make sure I don't sleep on Lapras. It could be a bring. The only problem is I'm not calced for Lapras, so if that happens, we're in trouble. And I have to calc in the middle of battle, so that's fun. But I'm trusting my gut with this team. I like what I got. Not worried about it. I do think Corviknight's coming as well, as I put on the layout. I talked about Corviknight being a really good option for my team. Steel typing's nice. It can just sit there toxic, body press, roost, and just rinse, repeat. Also can have Tailwind on its own. So I wanted to be able to counter that because I thought it was a good bring. I also think he's going to bring it. Same with Charizard because they're my two favorite Pokemon, and he has both of them, so why not use them against me to try to rub salt in the wound. So I definitely think Charizard and Corviknight are both coming. Charizard, that's the whole reason. I don't have any other reason why Charizard would come. Like, that's it. It's fast, too, so that's a good option for the team. But he has to think about that Aerodactyl, too. That might have scared it out. Venusaur, I do think, is coming. Pairs well with the Charizard and Inteleon finishing out the Fire, Water, Grass core. I think that's going to be something, too, he wants to focus on this week. Venusaur also very tanky. Maybe not expecting me to bring Jinx. Maybe not expecting me to have Lucario be able to take it as well. Or bring Darmanitan. So that's part of it. It also might be a setup. Venusaur might try Sunny Day. If that's the case, Charizard and Venusaur try to do that. I do have Darmanitan for that. I have outspeeding with Rillaboom, and I can also set up Tailwind, which will make me naturally outspeed Venusaur at +2, because we'd both be at +2, it just cancels. So I think that could be an option. I do think Double comes. As I mentioned, there's no good way to beat Double except for Lucario. I really don't want to see it this week. But if it does happen to show up, I'm probably going to end up bringing Lucario every match just for that. I'm working on some team changes. As you can already see with Pelipper, I'll talk about maybe some more next week if I decide to do a trade or not. I'm still kind of trying to figure out. I want to see how this week goes before I really try to mess with the team too much. I obviously have to replace Nidoking with something next time around, but I want to see how this battle goes this week before I touch this team at all and change it. So, but I do think Double's going to come. He's going to see that as an option to beat my team. Just to sit there and destroy me, so a little bit more defensive there. And then I think Dragapult's going to be coming. I don't think there's a reason it's not going to be coming. This is probably one of two easiest picks every single week just because it's so fast, so offensive, can do a lot for my team, to any team, honestly. Phantom Force is such a good ability as well. Not a good ability. Phantom Force is such a good move, too, on this Pokemon. And it has some good abilities, Curse Body and Infiltrator, so I do expect Dragapult. I have Hatterene and Lapras sitting in the wings. Those might be the subs. I don't really see him changing it too much from the team I talked about. Mostly because I have answers to things. I really don't expect to see Toxicity because I've prepped. My entire team has Earthquake, basically, so you're going to die. And if I don't have Earthquake, I have Psychic, or I have... I have Psychic if I don't have Earthquake, honestly. Both of them do have Psychic. So, yeah, you're going to die. And there's no reason to bring Toxicity this week. Copperajah could be a nice, cheeky play with just as a defensive team. He wants to bring more defensive. Bolton would be nice for his team, but I don't expect it too much. Pangoro, I really don't expect on the team, especially if he thinks I'm going to be bringing some things that can deal with it. Especially if he's thinking I'm going to bring a defensive Rillaboom, which I very might do that because I brought it that way in the past. So I don't expect any of the other ones. The ones I brought, Inteleon, Corviknight, Charizard, Venusaur, Double, and Dragapult, I think are the 6 that are going to be showing up. Double not showing up would kind of be upsetting, but also if that happens, I do have to think about bringing Lucario every single match. Which wouldn't be a bad thing because it does well against the rest of the team. So, and I want to clarify that I did prep for the entire team. I'm not prepping for 6 mons that I specifically think are coming, because that happens. If you do that, you're likely going to come across the other 6 mons that you didn't prep for, and it was out the window. And usually you miss 1 or 2 mons every week that you didn't expect. So I'm not trying to catch Chewy off guard with this team. I think it's a pretty straightforward hyper offense team this week. Really didn't invest too much in defenses anywhere. Like the only defensive strategies I have are pivots with U-turn here, tricking, choice scarf on the defensive mons, and tailwind setup for speed. But that's still just, those are 3 hyper offensive strategies anyway. So not really any defense, just kind of bringing hyper offense this week. It's very outside my wheel park, and I know that, but I think it's the best team I have to beat Tui at the moment. We'll reassess again because I'll fight Tui again week 4 and week 7. So obviously I'm going to have to build this team twice more. That's going to be fun. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this team builder. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and understanding what I'm bringing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me them in the comment section down below. And also feel free to check out the battle tomorrow at 1 p.m., same time as this upload, and we'll be going over what the team does with the actual battle. So make sure you check that out. Love to have you join us. And thank you for the support for all the previous seasons, and I hope you guys are rooting for me this season. I love to bring back the crown to the creator of the league, so that'd be fun. And I'm looking forward to this match versus Dewey, who I think I fought first every season that he's played. I think he didn't play in Season 5, but every other season, I think I fought him first the first week every time. So this is a nice rehashing of an old rivalry, and we're going to have a great time. So thank you guys for watching. Come support us tomorrow. I'll see you next time with that battle. So until then, my name is Chaos, and I'm signing off. Stay safe, and as always,